Thanks for staying with us. I want to welcome right now Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy. Thank you very much for talking with us this evening.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So first of all, I want to get your reaction to the Northeast governors coming together in this compact to coordinate on reopenings. Is this, in your opinion, the right path forward? There are some that believe Connecticut's needs are going to be different from New York City's, for example.
I think it is the right move. Ultimately, we would be disadvantaged as a state if we had a different standard for reopening our economy versus New York or Massachusetts or New Jersey. The reality is this virus really doesn't recognize state borders, and our economy is a multi-state economy. We benefit from the success of New York's economy, and New York benefits from our success. So it's really important for this to be done jointly. I'm glad that the governors are coming together in this way. And in some ways, they're just trying to replicate a federal government's response, which is lacking. These states are coming together and effectively creating a mini state government, a mini federal government, because they don't have a functioning federal government right now to deal with.
What is the discussion in Washington right now? Have you talked to the president's administration about the need for some kind of coordinated response?
Well, I have, and unfortunately, the federal government, I think, seems very content right now with leaving all of the hard decisions to the state governments while retaining the right to complain about it. So the president hasn't made a single decision to close a school or business. All of those decisions have been made by governors. But today, the president announced this commission to reopen America, pretending like he's been the one making the decisions all along to protect us from the virus. So the president can't have it both ways. The president can't have shirked the responsibility to make the closure decisions, pushing all of those calls to the state governments, and then sort of jump in at the last minute and claim that he's going to be the one that reopens the country. If the governors made the decisions in the first place, then they need to make the decisions on when these states reopen.
I want to get to something that you tweeted just a little while ago about Connecticut banks. You had said that you had talked to them today, and you said, quote, "It's clear to me we need more transparency on who is making the small business loans and where they are going. Real risk that this program ends up benefiting the haves and leaves out too many have-nots." You know, a lot of people are really depending on these loans. What are you hearing from Connecticut banks?
Well, I got on the phone today with banking leaders, including the commissioner of banking, because I've been hearing some troubling things from small businesses. What we know is that the banks who've been giving out these small business loans have been prioritizing their big customers, not just the customers that have deposits with the banks, but the customers that actually have existing loans with the banks. That's been leaving out a lot of smaller employers, a lot of employers that don't have loans open with major banks. And so I want to make sure that if we're going to authorize an additional sum of money for the small business program, that every single small business in Connecticut is benefiting from the program, not just the, frankly, medium-sized businesses. Remember, this applies to any company with 500 or less employees. And so I want to make sure that the 5-person small business is getting a shot at these loans, just like the 450-person business is getting a shot at the loans. And I'm not sure that's been happening. That's why I was on the phone this morning trying to right that wrong.
All right, Senator Chris Murphy, we really appreciate your time this evening.
Thanks a lot.